What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to episode 17 of the Final Whistle. I'm Danny Europe, joined alongside my guy, Nathan Osler, and we got a pretty eventful episode here today. Going to recap a lot of what happened in the NFL. We were going to do Top 5 Tuesday, but there was just too much to cover today, so we kind of scrapped that, and are going to save that for next Tuesday.
There's a lot of good stuff.
Yeah. Something that just went down like literally an hour before we went live. The Baltimore Ravens finalized a trade with the Carolina Panthers to get one of our friends, Diontae Johnson. What are your thoughts on this trade?
So I would say the last hour or two in the NFL world has been pretty eventful with that, and the Anthony Richardson news went down. We saw even more injuries this past week, which sucks. We can get to some of those in a bit. But the Diontae Johnson news, this was something we all expected.
Yeah.
There was only one team that wasn't allowed to get him. It is the Steelers because of the whole rule. There's no takebacks, I guess, in the NFL.
Really?
I think you have to wait a certain amount of time before you can trade back. I think that's how the rule is in the league. But him going to the Ravens is interesting. I would think the Ravens needed like a secondary help more so. Yeah. Even though Kyle Hamilton's been really good coming in off those blitzes we saw against the Browns, even though they lost. And Kyle Hamilton's had some iffy times catching a football too, but at the same time, he's one of their best guys in the secondary. I didn't think they needed wide receiver help personally. When you look at their depth chart, sure, let me pull it up very quick. Here's their numbers receiver wise. So they lost to Cleveland, by the way. Yeah. Cleveland Browns with Jameis Winston. We can talk about that. You know what? Let's just start with Browns Ravens, I guess, since we're on this.
Yeah.
And I'll start with the Ravens before I get into Winston and stuff. But this is their receiving room, and I personally don't think it's a weird fit, personally, but they have Zay Flowers. He put up 115. Isaiah Likely's a tight end. Mark Andrews is a tight end. Those are Lamar's favorite targets. Nelson Aguilar had three receptions, 5 targets. Rashad Bateman's a pretty good wide receiver, in my opinion. I mean, Zay Flowers, Aguilar, Rashad Bateman, receivers 1, 2, and 3. I don't really see a problem with that. I get where people think the Ravens might need a wide receiver because Diontae is probably, I guess, a fringe upgrade over Nelson Aguilar. I don't know about Rashad Bateman.
I'd say
because
so.
you and I have had the privilege of watching Diontae Johnson with the Steelers, I think, for 3 years. And it was a lot of downs more so than ups. But looking at the Steelers roster right now, they could clearly use a guy like Diontae Johnson, even though we'll get to them in a little bit. Their receiver room is pretty bleak and has had a lot of issues. I don't really know why the Ravens need a wide receiver when it's a rushing first offense, clearly. Lamar has 46 yards almost a game, almost 50 a game. Derrick Henry's been putting up 100 yards a game. He only had 73, but this is a team I think that values the run more so than the pass. And I don't really know where Diontae Johnson fits in that receiver room depth chart. Is he? I don't think he's wide receiver 1.
Oh no,
is he? I think he's wide receiver 2.
Flowers, yeah, he'd be wide receiver 2.
Maybe wide receiver 3. I like Rashad Bateman a little bit in that. I think they like Bateman a lot.
He's better than Bateman, but
I agree. But I don't know if the Ravens think that or Lamar.
I think you have to think that. But dude, Diontae Johnson's he can be a dog when he wants to be, but. I mean, he's got a lot of downside to him as well. I mean, you look at him, he dropped the ball a lot. He likes to catch the ball and run backwards. He tries to do a lot of stuff that he shouldn't be doing. And, at the end of the day, it's a good trade. I like it for the Ravens. It makes them a better team, in my opinion. But, when push comes to shove and, you need to throw to Diontae Johnson on 4th down, is he going to catch that ball? That's the question. Because the Ravens have had some troubles this year with, Lamar's targets, and people say Lamar doesn't have any help. So now they're finally getting him some help. And, this is a guy who was in a Pro Bowl 2 years ago. Diontae Johnson was a Pro Bowl caliber receiver. And, he dropped off because of the quarterback play in Pittsburgh. You have to remember that Diontae Johnson has not had an elite quarterback since Ben Roethlisberger. He went from Ben Roethlisberger, where he was dominant. He was one of, on pace, getting up there with, some of the best in the NFL receivers wise. And then he gets Kenny Pickett, horrible. He gets Mitch Trubisky, horrible. And then he's shipped off. He gets a little bit of Mason Rudolph, and, that connection was a little bit better. But then he goes to Carolina.
What's he have there?
Young. Bryce
Andy
Young.
Dalton.
Dog shit. Andy Dalton, bad.
For one game, it was good, but
yeah. And now he has a above elite quarterback. He's got a 2-time MVP quarterback. And I think the sky might be the limit for Diontae Johnson here, but he does have a lot of downside as well.
Mm-hmm. It can be a very good fit for this Ravens team. This is their upgrade this is clearly a need that they think they have. Personally, I don't know how they're really going to use them more so because I think they like throwing to the tight end and rushing the ball more than throwing to their wide receivers. And I think when they throw to a wide receiver, it's mainly just going to be Zay Flowers getting. He had 12 targets. Mm-hmm. Now, you said it also with the drops. They had a lot of issues with drops against Cleveland. I don't know if you were watching that game, but there was a lot of drops. Even on the defense, they were dropping picks and stuff. They were messing up some key plays that allowed the Browns to win this game. But, I mean, Diontae Johnson for a 5th-round draft pick, that's not bad. Like, the Ravens aren't really going to need a 5th-round draft pick, in my opinion. And even then, I think Diontae is still going to be under contract another year, I think. It's still under the Steelers deal, so it might be one more year or he's a free agent at the end of this one. So, I mean, like, you're not going to pay him that much anyway. And it's the Ravens. They needed to respond to they need to keep, like, they are 5-3, but this is a team that could make some noise in the AFC playoffs. This is a team that people think will have a chance to beat the Chiefs or the most likely chance to beat the Chiefs, unless playoff Lamar shows up that we know and love. But the Chiefs just got DeAndre Hopkins. They lost Rashee Rice. That's how you upgrade. The Ravens haven't lost any wide receivers, and they upgraded their wide receiver room. So this was a clear, we need to make a move now before other teams do. The Buffalo Bills made a move. They got Amari Cooper. So you see these top dogs in the AFC making moves for wide receivers. Now, speaking on Amari Cooper, let's go to his team that the Ravens played, his ex-team, you could say, Cleveland Browns. What a turn of events. And it's like, I think you and I both picked the Ravens, but how do I not know that this was the most predictable outcome ever? Mm-hmm. We have both been preaching on this show every week. We would both talk about Deshaun Watson. They need to make a QB change. Well, they 2-time coach of the year, Kevin Stefanski. I don't think he should have been a 2-time, but he makes the quarterback change. And Jameis Winston's put up 334 yards, 3 touchdowns, a game-winning bomb, you could say, at the end of the game. In the final minute and a half, I think it was. This guy carried them. Jameis Winston looked awesome. Cedric Tillman, he put up 99 yards. Elijah Moore, 85. Jerry Jeudy had 8 targets, had some drops with 79 yards. This is a team without Amari Cooper, and they put up pretty nice numbers. Deshaun Watson's not thrown for 334.
No.
Not at all. So, and he also only got sacked twice. You know how many times Deshaun Watson was getting sacked back there. It's like the O-line didn't want to protect the guy.
Exactly.
And now everything's clicked. We saw it last year with this team when Jameis Winston went down. They went on a miracle run with Joe Flacco. You know what? I don't want to be crazy, but imagine that happens with Jameis Winston. Like,
True.
Let me look at their schedule really quick. Upcoming schedule. It is completely possible. Chargers, Saints, who are on the downfall, home against Pittsburgh, away at Denver, away at Pittsburgh again. So that's 1, 2, 3. They're 5-game stretch. I think this is a team that can easily go 3-2 or 2-3. Usually they split with the Steelers every year. We saw last year the Steelers lost to DTR at the end of the season. But I mean, I think Jameis Winston is a better quarterback clearly than DTR, even though I like the upside of DTR as a backup. But like the Browns, this Cleveland Browns team, I think should beat the Chargers, hopefully. Should beat the Saints, I would hope. Should beat Bo Nix, and then maybe give the Steelers a game in those two of those. And they play the Steelers in 3 weeks 2 times. The 21st and the 8th of December. So they have a chance to make some noise. So it's going to be interesting. But yeah, the Cleveland Browns, I don't think their season's over. I think they can save it. But, trading the Amari Cooper thing, maybe that comes back to bite them because their wide receiver room did just take a hit. But I mean, other guys stepped up.
Sure. So. Yeah, I mean, I like this game. I can't not be happy for Jameis Winston. And it helped us as Steelers fans in this division, but he came through and big win for the Browns and a much needed win for them as well.
Yeah. So Browns win. They're 2-6. The Ravens win. They're 5-3. Let's just get to the other AFC North game since it's at the top of my screen. Not the game last night. Let's talk Eagles-Bengals. The Bengals, I think, are the most confusing football team this season. And I'll just say this. The offense has looked pretty good. You would expect that, but the defense has been horrid.
True.
They lose 37-17. They're now 0-4 at home. I was thinking this was a game the Bengals could probably win. I don't remember if I picked them or not, but like this Eagles team had a lot to prove. I said this was a game that Nick Sirianni needed to win. He's one of my coaches on the hot seat, in my opinion. The Eagles are 5-2, but like they're not the Eagles you really know. They're not really performing like those dominant Philadelphia Eagles teams of the last few years. This was more so along the lines of those dominant Eagles teams of the last few years. They looked really good. Jalen Hurts, 3 touchdowns, rushing wise, 1 passing. Saquon, 108 yards. That's like the most, besides Derrick Henry, the Saquon Barkley free agent edition. I think that's the best one in the offseason so far. And that's something that Cowboys fans are going to look at and say, wow, we really let this happen and let Saquon go to the Eagles instead of making a play for either of those guys. But like we saw, there was a play with, who was it? Where is it? Cooper DeJean. You saw that one tackle he had against the Bengals. That was electric. Like, this is a team that like can do a lot of damage, and they're just not playing up to par like you would think they are.
Yeah.
But this was a week I think they woke up and looked really good. The Bengals, on the other hand, look good on the offense. They just suck at defense, and that's going to be their downfall. They allowed 14 in the third, 13 in the fourth. They had 7. The Bengals scored 7 total points in the second half. That's why they lost this game. Joe Burrow, I mean, hasn't looked awful. He doesn't look like the Joe Burrow we really know. I mean, let me look here. He's tied for third in touchdowns, 15. He only has 3 picks. He's already almost at 2,000. He's only 7 yards away. He's only 7 yards away from 2,000. He ranks 6th there. I get Joe Burrow has been getting a lot of hate, but like he hasn't looked awful.
Yeah, Burrow's
it's just the defense
haven't been bad, but he's still not winning games. I mean,
that's the thing.
You could say the same thing about Dak Prescott. Dude always has good stats, but doesn't win games. So you gotta have the same energy when it comes to Dak and it comes to Burrow, baby.
Yeah. It's just a weird team. I think this is a weird time for Cincinnati. They're 3-5. This is a team that could probably be 3-4 right now. They should, I think. But you can't be 0-4 at home. They lost to the Patriots week 1.
Yeah, bad.
I don't know if you have anything to add about this one.
Not really. I mean, I'm very happy seeing them lose.
Yeah, this was a weird week for the AFC North, I think. Just going down the list, I think the team, like if I'm looking at ESPN right now, the team that looked the most dominant, I know they played the Titans, was the Detroit Lions.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
52-14.
They had 42 points, and Jared Goff only had 32 yards at that point. Like
they had like 28 yards in like one half.
Yeah.
They didn't need to throw the ball. It was just running. Jahmyr Gibbs, 127. David Montgomery, 33. Sam Laporta got a touchdown, but at the same time, it was thrown, I think, by David Montgomery. It was like the typical like Detroit Lions little trick play. They were having the time of their life against the Tennessee Titans. This is the game the Lions offense needed.
They're balling.
I know it's just the Titans, but like these are the types of games that make the Lions look like the best team in the NFC. And this is a very gritty team. Dan Campbell leads it for a reason, and this is a fun one. Amon-Ra, he had a touchdown. Brock Wright a touchdown. Khalif Raymond a touchdown. Sam Laporta a touchdown. They just lost. We didn't even talk last time about Jameson Williams getting suspended 2 games. It's like they didn't even need him. Other guys stepped up. So
crazy. Khalif Raymond had a big game.
Yeah.
Had the punt return, another touchdown.
I mean, like, this is the Titans are also a weird team. They traded D-Hop. They weren't going to be good, but Calvin Ridley's there. His contract's so big that I don't think a team's going to want him. But I mean, like, maybe he's a guy that surprisingly gets traded. Maybe a Tyler Boyd. Who knows?
Yeah.
But that team's going to stink.
Lions, in my opinion, are the best team in the NFL right now.
I agree. That's a fair take. I think they're better than the Chiefs.
I agree. Yeah.
The Lions are just fun to watch. They have a really good running. Yeah. Like they call it, I think they named their running back tandem Sonic and Knuckles.
Yeah.
David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs. Like that is a duo you want to see. Like you were high on David Montgomery when we did our tier list. Yep. This dude's having a great season. He's looking better than he did with the Bears, in my opinion. He's even throwing touchdown passes. Jahmyr Gibbs also has come of his own. Second year, put up 127, had a 70-yard rush, killed it for fantasy football owners like me. Like, this is a good Lions team. So, anything else?
Not for this team. I'm trying to see right here what I can pull up here. I wonder if we can make a rankings for the teams. Possibly
on StreamYard
on the team on the tier list thing. I'll make it while
so how they look this year?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, while you're doing that, I guess I'll just keep bringing stuff up if we want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Cardinals, Dolphins. This was a game where I'm just looking at it and I'm like, the Dolphins, like Tyreek Hill finally started putting up some numbers. No touchdowns, but he looked like Tyreek Hill. 72 yards. He was getting targets. Tua had a touchdown, 234, but like, they blew it in the second half. They lose to the Cardinals. The Cardinals are 4-4, by the way. The NFC West is clearly a wide open division. It clearly is. I talked about this when we did our Niners Cowboys breakdown for Sunday Night Football. This is a wide open division, and any team I think can win it right now. I think all these teams could be in the wild card consideration, especially with the 49ers, how they are looking. Trey McBride, National Tight Ends Day was a huge one for tight ends around the league. He didn't have a touchdown. He put up 124. Marvin Harrison Jr., 111. He looked really good. He's been kind of quiet the last few weeks. He had a touchdown. Kyler Murray, 2 touchdown passes. James Conner had a touchdown. This was a team that was rolling. On the Dolphins side of things, like their only receiving touchdown was Davon Achane, and then Mostert had 2 touchdowns. The Dolphins look kind of iffy. I think if there's a surprising coaching change that could happen, it could be McDaniels. As crazy, I don't think he'll get fired, but I don't think Dolphins fans are that patient. I think the Dolphins are clearly a football team where it is a team that needs a quarterback desperately, and when they lose Tua Tagovailoa, they're in a lot of trouble because they have no good backup quarterbacks, and we see that every year. Tua gets hurt every year, they go on a stinker. They look like a Super Bowl candidate the first 2 weeks of the season. Yeah. Then it all comes apart when he gets hurt, and they go on an absolute stinker.
True.
So, yeah. So, anything on this?
I mean, I look at this game, and you got to think that the Dolphins. I know I've said it a few weeks in a row. You've just got to respect Tua more because when he's back, you're a contending football team. When he's gone, you're the worst team in the NFL. It's night and day with this offense.
Yeah, I don't think it's panic mode yet. They're only 2-5. They're 3 below 500. Upcoming schedule, oh my gosh, they can fix this season easily. At the Bills, how about go get a division win? Who knows? Go upset someone. Rams, Raiders, Patriots. How about that 4-game stretch?
Sure.
And the first 2 Bills and Rams road, they have home games against the Raiders and Patriots. I mean, you should beat those teams.
Absolutely.
Then at the Packers, home against the Jets.
Yeah.
Who knows? They could fix this season a lot.
All right, here we go. We can. I figured out how to rank the teams. If you want to do that,
let's go. Any more games we want to talk about before we do this? Anything that sticks out,
or do you
think we can just do that as we rank?
We'll probably do it as we rank.
Let's do it. We can talk about them. I'll keep the scoreboard up.
I'm gonna exit out this ad. Let me screen share this. Screen share.
Now, are we ranking them as like they'll make the playoffs or like?
Just like kind of like our power rankings for the week, basically.
Okay, fine with me. Let's do it.
Boom. All right, here we go.
Ooh.
So we have like 1 through 5, and then we'd rank basically all the way to 32.
Okay.
You see what I mean?
Can we agree the Lions are the best team right now?
1.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think Chiefs have to be 2.
Yep.
So it's 1 through 5.
So I'm looking at how teams are playing.
Buffalo?
There's a couple.
I think Buffalo's 3.
Buffalo's 6-2. They won in Seattle. I guess let's talk about Bills right now.
Good win for Buffalo in Seattle.
They took away the whole 12th man thing.
Yeah.
The Seattle Seahawks went silent, 31-10. The Seahawks, I think, weren't they 4-0?
Yes.
Now they're 4-4.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I wasn't really high on the Seahawks at the start of this. I had a feeling they'd be in the wild card race. The NFC West has become like a nut house, kind of. It's like anyone can win if you believe enough. Like the Rams are even like still in this thing. So the Seahawks look kind of iffy. They're falling down my power rankings quickly personally, but I like the Bills. I like the Bills in the top 5. I'm trying to think what other teams could be in there personally.
Ravens trying to be 4, I think.
Ravens, yeah. The Ravens are still up there even though they lost.
5's tough. I think you can go a lot of places here. I think you can go Washington. You can go Houston. I think Houston might be the best out of the available left.
So let me look at the the Ravens are 5-3. I think you got to look at the 6-2 teams now.
Yeah.
So 6-2 teams. You have let's see here. You got the Packers, Texans. We already did the Bills. Let's see, the Commanders and the Steelers. Mm-hmm. I don't think the Steelers are top 5. I don't think the Commanders are top 5.
I wouldn't say so.
I think I'd kind of give it to the Texans personally. I like their defense. Then I think 6 through 10 is more so.
So Texans, I agree. Yeah, I think Texans.
I agree with the Texans.
5. And then at 6, I don't think it's crazy. I think we should go Commanders at 6.
Yeah, I'd put. You know what I would do?
What's up?
I'd do Commanders, Packers, Steelers.
I think Commanders, Packers, Steelers, Vikings.
And I think all of those teams can be locked no matter which order, because there's arguments for each team. Like the Commanders' defense can be iffy. We all know what happens.
Exactly.
If the Commanders lose Jaden Daniels for a little bit, I don't trust Marcus Mariota, even though I like him enough to keep them a top 10 team. The Packers, Jordan Love's been throwing a lot of picks. That's a big issue for him, but they're still winning games like the Packers always do. The Steelers are the same thing. Their defense has been really good, but it's looked sluggish a little bit, in my opinion, for some chunk plays. The offense has started to wake up, though. That's why they're still there. And the Vikings are kind of falling apart right now. But I mean, if that face mask doesn't happen, who knows? Maybe they're still a one-loss team. But I like that.
I think Eagles after the Vikings.
I like that as well.
Then the 11th best team in the NFL.
Ooh.
I think you can go Niners. You can go Falcons. I like Falcons.
I like the Falcons above the Niners. Look at all the injuries.
Yeah.
The Niners may be right after them. Actually, I don't know.
I think so. And then I think we can go
the Bucks, maybe. They just lost a lot of guys. They're still 4-4.
I think Chargers are better than the Bucks.
You know what? How we can clean this up? Let's do our worst teams. Put the Panthers last. Titans second to last.
Patriots are bad.
Yeah.
Browns are bad, but they're not that bad.
They're not that bad.
Saints are putrid.
The Saints have fallen apart. Giants put them below the Saints. So those are our bottom. Wait, how many
Raiders?
teams?
Raiders are worse than
8 to 9, 30. We need 7 teams down there, I think.
Okay.
If I do my math right.
One more, yeah.
Ooh. I don't want to put we might have to put the Jaguars highest in that ranking. As
fine with that.
Much as I don't want to.
And
then can we put the Jets like the next lowest in the next category? 21 to 26.
I'm gonna get confused here. Let's just go down now. So we have Niners at 12, right? Or the Niners are at 12, and then honestly, hear me out. Broncos.
Yeah, they've looked good. I like that one.
Really good. And then the
Chargers? 2 more.
Chargers. Chargers, Bears. Chargers, Bears. How about that?
That's fair. Maybe the Bears over the Chargers.
I don't know.
Chargers 4-3. The Bears also 4-3. Oh,
I'll take. Yeah, all right. I'm fine with that.
I just like the wide receiver room more so than the Chargers.
Fine with that.
The next one, I think the Bengals might be the high. This is a weird tier because actually put the Bucks ahead of them.
Yeah,
Bucks, we can't forget about them. Yeah, Bengals and the Cowboys are in the same boat. Rams.
After that, I think I'm gonna go Seahawks. Honestly, I think I'm gonna go Seahawks above the Cowboys.
I don't know. Those are 2 teams that look awful.
Yeah,
I think the Seahawks have looked worse. They're on a 4-game losing streak right now.
Yeah, they are. So they got to go bump down. Let's go Rams above. Honestly, Rams above the Cowboys.
Yeah. I'd even put them above the Bengals. Crazy as that sounds, I like them.
Agree.
Oh, I think that's fine.
All right, and then we got to order this.
You
Jets,
know what?
I think, are last in here.
Call me crazy. The Cardinals are 21.
I agree. I was going to do that.
Cardinals, Dolphins, Browns, Colts, Jets.
Yep.
I think those
are our rankings.
Let me, if there's something I were to change, I'm trying to think. I think people could still put the Bucks over the Chargers. I mean, they just lost all their wide receivers, but Baker's still Baker.
Yeah.
I can't believe the Broncos are that high. It looks so weird.
Yeah, that is weird, huh?
The bottom of the barrel's fine. I think if there's a team that could get out of that, maybe it is the Jaguars. But they need to get working ASAP. The Jets are on a downward spiral.
They are.
I think people would still put the Jets above the Colts and the Browns right now just because of the talent that they have. It's just they haven't shown it.
Been bad, though. Now Flacco's going to come. I think the Colts are going to be better than the Jets.
Yeah.
I like those rankings. I think these are just these are more of a power ranking now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the Jets just haven't showed their talent.
Yeah.
At all. I like it. I think that's a consensus top 5 in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
I think 6 through 10, though, is where it gets kind of iffy because those are teams that are playing, I think, above. Like, there's 3 teams in there, actually 4 teams in there I think are exceeding everyone's expectations besides the Eagles. The Commanders, Packers, Steelers, and Vikings are by far exceeding expectations, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Before the season started, people had the Steelers as a 4 or 5 win team. I don't know how that was possible. I had the Packers having a losing record for some reason. I had them like 9-8 or 8-9. The Commanders, I didn't think were going to take this big of a jump yet. And the Vikings, I think we all thought the Vikings were going to be ass. Especially after the J.J. McCarthy news. And Sam Darnold is the starter. And we've all been proven wrong. And the Eagles just haven't been up to Eagles standards. Besides this past week. I mean, that's pretty good. I like it.
Yep. I like these rankings for us. Go back to this. Boom.
Okay.
All right.
Any other things we got to cover Anthony Richardson stuff.
True. So the Colts, this kind of stems back to what happened in the middle of the game with the Colts. And Anthony Richardson just decided to quit, not quit, but just say he went benched, and he said he got tired and he went to sit on the bench, which I have never seen in my 21 years of watching football. I've never seen that. I think that's a horrible mentality to have, and that's coming from someone in me who is the biggest Anthony Richardson believer, and I'm out on Anthony Richardson right now, fully out on AR. Listen, the guy had the talent. He had the arm. He had a tremendous arm. He has a tremendous set of legs, but he just doesn't. I don't think he has the IQ at the end of the day to do it. He doesn't have the mentality or the IQ. He's a quitter, and you can tell that now. And I would never want a guy like him on my football team, a guy who is going to give up when you've got 10 other guys on your team who are just as tired as you, and you want to sit on the bench, bro. It leaves a really sour taste on it because you're the quarterback. You're supposed to be the captain of this offense, the leader of this team, and you can't play the whole football game. You're tired. Get a grip. I think it's a great decision for him to be benched. I think it's the right decision. I don't think this is a matter of his play is bad. His play's obviously been underwhelming, but I think this decision for him to be benched is fully because of his actions on Sunday when he wanted to sit. I think that is fully why he's sitting on the bench right now.
I was, when we've done these, I've been pro Joe Flacco should be starting and he should be just watching, kind of learning. You see that happen, and before that even happened, I look at the graphics that come out. I think he was like 2 for 15 passing at a point. Mm-hmm. He had a completion percentage of 0.31.
Yeah.
25 repeating decimals. 10 of 32. I see the 175, but he just throws random bombs down the field that somehow get caught. It's impressive. Don't get me wrong. But I'm looking at this, and this was a Colts team that I was kind of high on. I think everyone was. They're somehow 4-4, but you look at, like, those were with Joe Flacco, I think. A lot of those.
Yeah.
Like, nothing against Anthony Richardson. He's a guy that you want to believe in. I'm personally thinking when he got drafted, I looked at his college career. He didn't have the greatest numbers to be the number 3 overall pick, I think it was. It was either 3 or 4. I don't think it was 4. I don't think he should have been drafted that high. I don't think it's a bust because he has potential. I just think he gives off the vibes of he's going to be a backup QB in the NFL for his career. He's shown the flashes. That's what I think keeps him up in the league for a while. I think he has potential to stay in the NFL and be a solid player for a while. Yeah. But you look at guys like, I even forget his name now because he's fallen off the face of the earth. Who's the guy that the Niners, Trey Lance. Trey Lance has never gotten an opportunity because he got injured so much.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
Guess who gets injured a lot with the Colts?
Richardson.
But he at least played. But like he gets injured. He's been injured 2 seasons now. He lost his whole rookie season practically. And he lost the majority of the first portion of the chunk of his rookie year, I like to call it, his first full season. And now he's taking himself out of games because you're tired. Like, really I don't want to see that as a fan. If I was a Colts fan, I would have been like, Joe Flacco, put him in now. Just leave him in.
I agree.
I don't think, and Pat McAfee, I was still watching his show today because they like the Colts. They're in Indiana. And it's like, and he played for them too. In his football career or in his life, he's never seen a quarterback QB1 just check out and quit. Yeah. Say he's tired. I don't think you're QB1. That is something you don't want to see from a first-round pick, especially your 4th overall draft pick. Nothing against him, but it's like you got to question his work ethic or his game mentality, I guess is the right word, to be like, hey, I'm tired. I'm taking myself out of the game. It's such a confusing situation because we've never really seen this. It said, and this came out today, an hour before the Diontae Johnson news. So I guess these are the 2 big stories of the day. Whenever that news came out, after the game, saying he got tired, I was like, they're going to Joe Flacco. It just makes sense.
You got to.
And then there's still fans confused about this because they think Anthony Richardson should be their guy and they need to develop him. But... Now, yeah, here's the thing about the Colts. If they want to win now, I think Joe Flacco gives them the better chance. You look at the guys they've brought in and the guys they have. They have a Jonathan Taylor still who's been injured. He comes back. They have Josh Downs who looks pretty good. Michael Pittman. They have a bunch of guys on here, especially defensively. They have some really nice guys on the defensive side of the ball that have been pretty decent. So I don't think you can waste that, the money you've spent to try to develop a QB. I know how much it is important. But why not just sit and let him learn under a guy who's been in the NFL for a very long time? He's been paid a lot of money in his career in Joe Flacco, as crazy as that sounds. But it's you can't have your a top draft pick, going around saying, I'm tired and take himself out of the game. Imagine if that was Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Drake May, this year's QB class. Anthony Richardson is now the 2nd QB from last year's draft class to be benched behind Bryce Young. I know Bryce Young's playing now. He just came back because Andy Dalton was not doing good for them and they're just screwed no matter what. But it's last year's draft class, the clear winner was CJ Stroud and the Houston Texans. Clear winner. But yeah, it's a weird situation overall in Indianapolis. So
sure.
A couple QB changes already this season. Jameis Winston, Joe Flacco a couple times. Bryce Young's back.
I think, did we cover what happened with Stephon Diggs yet?
Oh, yeah, and we got to talk about another guy that also got hurt.
Stephon Diggs out for the year, ACL. That's a big blow for the Texans. That's a big blow. Now your best 2 receivers are out for a substantial amount of time. Obviously, Nico Collins will be nearing a return hopefully soon, but Stephon Diggs out for the year now, confirmed, getting a season-ending surgery on his knee, which, I mean, yeah, he tore his ACL. Really sucks for Texans fans.
And you know what? This has been the worst year I can remember for wide receiver injuries.
Mm-hmm.
We've lost Chris Godwin. We've lost now Stephon Diggs. Mike Evans is off and on. There's so many guys I'm not even naming right now. But you know what the worst one for me is?
Mm-hmm.
Brian Thomas Jr. is hurt.
Yeah.
Like, come on. That's my rookie of the year pick. I love him. I know Jane Daniels is going to win it, but he's been the most underrated rookie wide receiver in this draft. Malik Neighbors is getting all the attention. And other guys are too. Marvin Harrison. But like this Brian Thomas Jr. guy out of Jacksonville right now, he's looking pretty decent. Now he's hurt. He's not out for the season, but he's hurt.
Yeah.
That is a tough loss for that Jaguars team trying to save their season.
Absolutely.
So like there's a couple teams that are just cursed right now. I would say it's mainly honestly the most cursed teams are the Bucks and the Niners, injury-wise.
Yeah.
But like this has been an awful year for him. Maybe the Texans too. But the Texans are at least winning somehow. But like
Really?
this has been a bad year for injuries. I hate it. I hate it so much.
Yep.
So
there's always going to be some bad injuries, but this year definitely sucks for them.
Any other games that stuck out? I know we had Monday Night Football last night.
Yeah, big Monday night win for our Pittsburgh Steelers. They beat down on the New York Giants. Honestly, this box score is not how the game was. I mean, we had 3 touchdowns that should have been. There was the one George Pickens somehow didn't get his 2 feet in.
Double tapped his right foot somehow or his left.
Broderick Jones took away yet another touchdown. You know, that is the 15th touchdown Broderick Jones has taken away this year.
Really?
15.
How's it been 15? I wasn't counting.
15 touchdowns, Broderick Jones. They've had callback on Broderick Jones.
I know he's taken a couple from George Pickens. I know there's that Denver game.
15 in total.
Oh, yeah,
crazy.
That's not looking like it's a great pick for the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
Their last year's first-round pick. It's not looking like a bust, but it's looking like an awful pick.
Yeah, it's looking like a bust. He's bad.
I don't think he's the worst first-round draft pick, though, the Steelers have ever had. You know who I put in that consideration?
Devin Bush?
Yes. I don't think – if people say Kenny Pickett is the worst first-round pick in history, don't listen to them. It is Devin Bush. You know why? The Steelers traded for a top 10 overall pick to get that.
Yeah.
I think he was picked number 10 overall. They had to trade up in the draft. They had to give up draft capital. Did they give up capital for Kenny Pickett? No. Now I'm going on a Kenny Pickett tangent, so we got to stop before I keep moving.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't think Broderick Jones is the worst ever first-round pick the Steelers have had, but it's looked pretty bad so far. He had a really good start to his career, don't get me wrong.
Was that the 2023 NFL draft?
Yeah, it was last season.
Let's see who we could have gotten.
They traded with the Patriots because the Jets wanted Broderick Jones. That was the whole thing. The Patriots didn't want the Jets really to get him. Why would the Patriots trade with the Jets to let that happen? They moved with the Steelers. While you're pulling that up, I guess the other one that was messed up was the Van Jefferson thing. Him and Russ kind of just disconnected from one. Instead of stopping, he just kept running, but also like Russ had an issue with throw. But Russ still looked very good. He looked really good. He looked very impressive. Daniel Jones, I mean, looked like Daniel Jones, but like, let me just say this about this game. This was a game for the running backs to have of a lifetime. Can I say something? You and I are very critical of Najee. I know you have your beef with Najee Harris. That first half, the running game was just impressive. And I'll just say this about Najee as well. I said a couple weeks ago, he hit 6 games his entire career without hitting 100 yards. He hit 100 yards 6 games. He now has 3 in a row.
Dude, he's been playing really well. He's been playing good football. They're running him like the back he should be running. They're not putting him, next to Russell Wilson or Justin Fields and running him kind of like a speed back. The offense is clicking, and I'll tell you what, they're utilizing the rush to set up the pass. They're utilizing the pass to set up the rush. It's beautiful offense, and the way they're running Najee Harris and then throwing Jaylen Warren in for more of a an explosive run instead of a powerful run. It's fun to see, and I thought Najee was going to get a touchdown the one time, and I was like, all right, he needs one more to win me back, but it still stands. I hate you, Najee Harris, until you score 2 touchdowns or a game-winning touchdown. So that's all it is. And the game-winning touchdown criteria is score under a minute, and that has to be the final. That's got to be like it. You know what I mean? So
yeah, Jaylen Warren also had a pretty good game too. He looked like the Jaylen Warren I think we know. He had 46. They just had a rough time in the red zone or in the end zone, which they had the 3 mishaps. Then he finally hooked up with Calvin Austin. I'll say this about Calvin Austin. This was the Calvin Austin the third game.
Legacy game for Calvin Austin. Yeah.
He had a 75-yard punt return. I see the flag graphic come up. I was like, oh, it's coming back. And I was like, oh, it's on the Giants. And then you have Beanie Bishop. He straight up owns the city of New York.
Yep, Beanie Bishop.
Him and Joey Porter Jr. were fighting over the pick. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, even like the Giants had a good time running football. Like Tyrone Tracy.
I'll tell you what, that guy is a beast. Yeah, no, he's a beast. He was unbelievable this game. I think that's, if I'm a Giants fan, I obviously knew we were going to lose this game. I have to be happy that Tyrone Tracy, dude, this guy was a receiver. He transfers to Purdue. They make him a running back. Then he leads the Big Ten in rushing last year, and he's been great for them.
Can I say this as well for the Giants of what they should be proud of? Their defensive line is amazing.
Very good.
Like Dexter Lawrence had a really good game. They have Bobby Okereke. He had half a sack, 14 total tackles, 7 by himself. Like, that's nuts. DJ Davidson, Drew Phillips, Ogiari, Nick McLeod, another guy, Brian Burns, Micah McFadden. This is a very underrated defensive line, and they're being held back by their offense so bad. You wonder why the Giants stay in all these games. It's because their defense is very good. Dexter Lawrence, you wouldn't know this if he wasn't on the Giants. He leads the league in sacks. He has 9. Dexter Lawrence is really good. This dude is an absolute beast. He's a 340-pound, 6'4" menace on that D-line. He's going to kill the quarterback anytime he can get. Somehow he didn't have a sack last night. He should have had a couple, I think. Like, Steelers O-line, this was a worse game for them than we've seen, but it's like, I don't know how they could have stopped this. They did the best they could, but at the same time, the Giants O-line also sucked. This was the game where TJ Watt woke up. He's been kind of quiet the last few weeks. Alex Highsmith had a great game. I think he was your defensive player of the game, in my honest opinion.
Yeah.
Highsmith had the 2 sacks, 2 tackles for loss. TJ Watt had the clutch forced fumble after Russell Wilson had the stupid fumble he had at the end. I was like, oh, here we go. Heart attack game on Monday night.
Yep.
And then TJ Watt saves the day as Daniel Jones fumbles the ball. Like, those are the heroics that the Steelers defense always does.
It's just every week, man.
And you know what? It's very impressive. I get people thinking the Steelers aren't that good and being like, oh, well, they beat the Giants. I mean, to the Ravens fans saying that, you guys lost to the Raiders and the Cleveland Browns. And I saw a Raiders fan on TikTok saying, oh, they just lost. They beat the New York Giants. Anyone can. Everyone was commenting, you guys lost to the Raiders. You guys lost to Jameis Winston today. No offense to Jameis Winston. But it's like, you got to beat these teams to make the playoffs. You got to beat the teams your opponent should be beating. And I think, this is a very underrated take. I hate bye weeks because I love watching football.
Yeah.
But the Steelers bye week comes at a perfect time.
Perfect.
They need to get the O-line healthy.
I think Hard Knocks is coming in as well.
Oh, shoot. That's going to be nice. We're going to have to review that. AFC North Hard Knocks. That's going to be straight.
I'll be tuning in.
That is going to be a gauntlet, especially with the Steelers' end of season schedule, all the division games. They have the Browns twice within 3 weeks of each other. They have a 3-game stretch, 3 games in 10 days. It's the whole Christmas time thing. They have I think it's the Eagles, Ravens, and Chiefs in 10 days. Oh, yep. That's going to be a gauntlet. But you know what? Steelers being 6-2, I like this for them. I know that's the fan in me too saying, I'll gladly say it. I like this. I like them being 6-2. If there's a game I really want back, it's the Colts.
Yeah.
I thought this could have been a trap, but they're playing way better. If this was the Steelers of last year, they probably lose this game.
Yeah.
But they looked really good. Tyrone Tracy Jr. is probably a player of the game to look out for if you're a Giants fan. He looks really good. Darius Slayton, maybe a future wide receiver of the Pittsburgh Steelers, had a pretty good game. 108 yards, 7 targets, 4 receptions, long at 43. Pickens also had a long of 43. He could have had 2 touchdowns, both taken away, one by him not getting his other foot down. And may I just say, physics don't make sense enough for him to not be able. That was just so confusing.
Yeah.
He touched one foot twice, and the other foot's just staying in the air. To stay that balance is nuts. And then Crazy. He had of course, the Broderick Jones one. But he could have had 2 touchdowns today. well, yesterday, Van Jefferson. Can I just say
Very
this?
good game out of Van.
Yeah, he silenced a lot of guys. They still my thing with the Steelers though, and I think everyone can say it. They still need another wide receiver.
Yep.
Because if George Pickens goes down, your wide receiver one is Van Jefferson. So I guess that's all I got for the Steelers. 6-2 at the bye. I think it's a good situation for them. So.
All right. Do we want to do a Weddle?
Yeah, let's do it.
Weddle Unlimited.
We'll do Weddle and then some NBA talk.
Sure.
Unless you got anything else football-wise you got to cover.
Not really. All right. Back on here. And oh my God, how many ads?
Oh, goodness.
Jeez. All right. Let me try and exit all these out. Good Lord. All right.
Okay. I'm going to pull full screen up.
So.
So you want to start, just put down a random skill guy.
Let's go with a wide receiver here. Let's go Josh Downs.
Okay. Well, that helps.
Big strikeout. Big strikeout. Older than 23.
So you know what? Let's try a quarterback in the NFC.
Yeah.
That's old. Matthew Stafford.
Quarterback in the NFC. He is younger than 36. He wears the jersey number that is above 9. I think we can get it on this next one. NFC. Oof.
I'm trying. Jalen Hurts is lower than a 9, correct?
He's number 1, yeah.
So Daniel Jones, what's he?
He is.
I think he's a 10 or a 12.
No, he's definitely not 10. That's Eli's number.
Well, yeah.
Jones. He might be. Yeah, I don't know.
Try him. I don't think he's a lower than a 9. All right. I think he's above 9.
Yeah. Okay. He was 8.
Oh. Ooh.
He's in the NFC.
Younger than 27.
Yeah, younger than 27. In the NFC South or in the NFC
North.
NFC East. He could be Dak.
It's north or south. Yeah. It's not Dak. So we got to think. Jordan Love, Jared Goff, Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold.
Yep. Try it out.
Huh?
Jordan Love or it's either Jordan Love or
Goff.
Jared Goff.
Huh?
Jordan Love? He's younger than 27, I think.
Bang. Jordan Love.
Woo! Got a little dicey at the end.
Yeah, that was the closest we ever got. We went through the entire division almost.
You know what? Immaculate grid time.
Uh-oh. All right.
We got to challenge ourselves. We did bad last time.
For the NFL?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Jordan Love. We went everywhere for that one. You know what? I thought that Daniel Jones one was going to be a poll.
So did I. All right, here we go. 10,000 passing yards. All right, Rivers.
You know what? Can I be interesting here? Yeah. Let's change it up. Matt Ryan, I think, played for the Colts, correct?
Yes.
But he should have 10,000.
All right, there we go.
There we go. Because I'm trying to get the lower numbers.
I don't think Mahomes has that yet. What about Alex Smith?
Yeah, let's try to get the low numbers.
Should we go Alex Smith for the Chiefs?
Yeah.
Bang. All right. Rams.
Okay,
Chiefs.
let's do Chiefs Dolphins. That's Tyreek Hill.
Yep. Love it. Okay.
Ooh, 74%.
Yeah, that's a big one.
We need to get some crazy ones. Thinking random quarterbacks.
Yeah. Quarterbacks played. Chiefs. I'm stuck on the Chiefs. Chiefs in the.
Oh boy!
I know there's got to be someone. Yeah, we're cooked here.
That's the thing I hate about football. If it's a Steeler, I know them all.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's right. It was in the Super Bowl window. Oh
man.
Running back. Oh. How recent is this?
Who are you thinking?
Carson Wentz from the Chiefs.
Did he play for the Rams? I don't think. Did he play for the Chiefs? I don't think he did.
He did.
He did?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he played for the Rams.
See, sometimes it's not updated to this year, and he just got signed this year.
Oh. Oh no! They have to play in a game for it to qualify. Look at it. Look at the bottom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a good save right there.
Wow. Yeah, I would have gotten cooked, huh?
There has to be a Colts Dolphins guy,
Yeah,
definitely, that I should know.
I'm stuck on Chiefs Rams. I know there's someone.
Nah, my mind's blanked. We got all the easy ones. Wait, did this could be a risk. Did Tyler Huntley play for the Chargers?
Tyler Huntley. I don't think.
He played for the Dolphins. Well, he's on them now, I think. That's all. That's the one, I guess.
I don't think so.
Ooh. Wait. This could be another crazy one. I'm thinking the name Derwin James. Did he go Rams the Chargers?
Derwin James?
Yeah, he's on defense. Did he go Rams the Chargers?
No, he's never left. He's never left the Chargers. He's always been a Charger.
Oh, he hasn't. I'm trying to think. I know he's been in LA.
I think.
I say if we can't think of anything in a minute, we just give up. I might just give up now. I have no clue. I'm gonna look at the most popular guys and be like, "You've got to be kidding me."
Yeah, we're gonna get cooked here. I give up.
Yeah, give up.
I'm gonna try. Hold on, let's try some stuff here. Yeah, I give up. Show. What is that doing it? How do I show it? Oh, there we go. Eric Weddle.
Oh my gosh!
Wow.
Who's the guy for the Chargers Dolphins?
Frank Gore we could have got. Chargers Dolphins. Junior Sano.
That's a name I haven't heard of in a very long time.
I'm pissed. Probably
should have got Frank Gore.
Yeah. Oh well. We tried our best.
Fun times.
Touch on NBA real quick, and then wrap it up. NBA and the association last night. A few games went down. Some of the biggest takeaways: my Raptors went to overtime against the Denver Nuggets. Denver Nuggets have not looked good whatsoever. Every time a team has won a championship, and then got Kentavious Caldwell-Pope the next year, and then got Russell Westbrook the next year. It's happened twice ever. The Lakers did it. The Lakers won a championship, got KCP, were contenders, and then got Russell Westbrook, and they were terrible. It's happening again to the Nuggets. It's happening again to the Nuggets in this game. Nikola Jokic dropped 40 points on Jakob Poeltl's head, which was embarrassing to watch. Jamal Murray, 17 points in his return to Canada at home against the Raptors. It was a good game to watch. Scotty Barnes left the game after getting elbowed in the face for a pretty funny moment. RJ Barrett made his return, 20 points for RJ and the Raptors. Grady Dick with 15, and Davion Mitchell with 16. Jonathan Mogbo, only 6 points. He's had a really good year so far, so a down game for him. I know we definitely got to talk about your team. Paulo Banchero, 50 points. He had 37 points going into the half. This dude's just a flat out stud. He's got to be in the MVP talks right now, and this is one of the best teams in the NBA. The Magic are right now. We said it before the season. We both said that this Magic team is going to be good. I know Nate is a Magic fan.
Hell yeah, I am.
So this has got to feel good, right? Having a guy like Paulo.
Let me preach.
Go for
it. This is a great feeling to have. I became a Magic fan. So I used to be a Celtics fan because Pittsburgh doesn't have an NBA team. I gave up on the Celtics for some reason, and I was like, you know what? I got to pick a team that's not like a bandwagon. I got to think of a team that's like I want to be like on the come up with.
Yeah.
So I thought about my sports teams. I'm like, my team's the Pittsburgh Pirates are my favorite. I'm thinking like, okay, they have young, they have potential. Trying to think and compare them. I look at the Magic because you know what? They have the first round pick the year I become an NBA fan, or before I become a Magic fan, and then they get the first round pick.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect timing. Right in the rebuild, they pick Paolo Banchero. Let me just say this: most underrated player in the league. He gets none of the respect because he's on the Magic.
That's ridiculous to say that. It's not ridiculous.
Let me just say this about Banchero. If Banchero was on another team, he would get the same love Anthony Edwards gets. He would get the same love other stars gets, which they don't get me wrong, they are completely deserving of the star power that they have. But Paolo Banchero needs to be a career Magic star. He needs to be there forever. I know people might disagree and say he needs to go to the big places, the big cities, but like this is a guy the Magic have. He's going to be the guy to lead them to a championship somewhere down the line. 50 bomb, career
he's
high,
28.5 points per game. He's having a tremendous season so far.
3-1 start, 2-0 at home.
Great season so far for the Magic. So far, they're 3-1. It's the best they've looked ever that I've ever seen the Magic.
Can I talk about Jalen Suggs too? 25.
Yeah, I'm not a Jalen Suggs big fan.
He just got signed too.
Yeah, they gave him a lot of the Magic paid. They spent the most money this offseason. They got their core guys.
Extended Franz.
Yep, it's gonna be a good team this year. They're definitely gonna go to the playoffs. I'm excited to see them. The Celtics
Anthony Black with the clutch 3.
Sure. Yep. Well, the Celtics are 4-0. And they just come off another big win. They beat the Bucks by 11 points. Damian Lillard had 33 points, but it wasn't enough to stop what is the best team in the NBA right now in the Boston Celtics. They're 4-0, and they're just looking straight up unbeatable. The Heat beat the Pistons, who are 0-4. The Pistons look just horrible. I feel bad for Cade Cunningham. You thought that the Pistons were going to kind of have a little bit of a turnaround this year. They just haven't at all. The Knicks have just been underperforming as well. Mikal Bridges, 19 points. Everyone's been concerned about Mikal's jump shot. It looks broke as hell. And I think we got to start asking some questions about, is Mikal Bridges going to be good to start shooting some better from behind the arc? He did have 19 points, so a better game for Mikal. But as a guy who likes Mikal, I love his celebration where he hits this. I think that's fire, but we gotta dial it in here, Mikal.
I like how the Cavs are playing too. I know you're high on them.
Cavs are 4-0 as well. They whooped us, and I knew then that this team was going to be good. Lakers got their first loss last night in a very good game. LeBron James had his worst game ever since 2007, and he only scored 11 points on 29% shooting from the floor. That is his worst ever game since 2007. LeBron has scored 10 points in every single game. This is in his career dating all the way back to 2007, and he's never shot under 30% from the field since 2007 as well. So LeBron is hopefully we're not going to start to see the LeBron decline. His plus minus was minus 17, which is just horrendous. Bad game for the King. 3 for 14 from the floor. 2 out of the 3 shots he made were threes. He was 2 for 5 from 3 and 3 of 6 from the free throw line. One of those he did try and throw off the front of the rim to try and win the game in a sense. But pretty good Lakers team. They're 3-1. They went against the Suns. The Suns looked damn good as well. AD and KD kind of went at it all night, and it was a very fun game to watch. But yeah, that's kind of what's going on in the NBA yesterday. I'll do a little preview of today's games. Nuggets coming off a back-to-back. They're gonna play the Nets. Honestly, I'll take the Nets here. Nuggets just haven't been playing well, and coming off a back-to-back. I don't know. I think I could see an upset. Denver is favored by 6 points. Mavs Timberwolves tonight. Timberwolves favored by 6 points. I'm going to go with the Mavs here to beat the Timberwolves here. Then they need a pretty big win. Luke is averaging 27.7 after 3 games. Kings Jazz. Jazz are looking horrible. They are also without a win, and they desperately need one. Then Pelicans Warriors. That'll be on TNT. That'll be the game I'll be watching probably after the World Series. Brandon Ingram's been a star so far, but we need to see Zion step up a little bit more. But that's it so far for the NBA kind of recap. I try and do those kind of quick and just run through all of them. But
you want to go to a Jazz game? It says tickets as low as $4.
Oh man, that's sad.
I would if I'm making picks, I guess I like your Nets pick. I'll stick with them. I'm going to go Mavs, Kings, Warriors.
Sure.
I mean, I think a lot of my attention tonight is on the World Series, and I guess I'll bring this up very quick if we want to talk about it briefly. This World Series was supposed to be like everyone was so hyped about it, and I was really hyped about it, and it's just the Yankees playing like ass. They look bad, and you know what it is. And this is tough to see as a guy that wants this to be a good one. It should be. This should be like one of the greatest World Series of all time.
It really should.
Aaron Judge.
Horrible, man. I'll tell you what, he sucks. He just sucks. He puts on a turtleneck and all of a sudden he forgets how to play baseball.
Like when the month of October hits, it has not looked good for him. October, Aaron Judge. So far in the World Series, interesting note, he's 1 for 12, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. He's batting 140 in the entire postseason with 20 strikeouts and 43 at-bats.
What a dud.
Like, he's a really good player, but he's clearly having an awful postseason.
Terrible.
Like, this is a reason why the Yankees are probably going to lose this World Series.
Yep.
Well, they need their stars to show up. Besides the Judges, Soto, Juan Soto, Giancarlo Stanton, and Jazz Chisholm have showed up and did something in this World Series. Like Alex Verdugo hit that home run last night. Maybe it sparks them to get a win today and keep the series alive. I think the Yankees are playing right now to not lose the World Series at home. I think they are playing to win these next. I mean, they have to win 4 in a row to win it. They got to win back-to-back days. They got to win today and tomorrow. And then they have to win Friday and Saturday to win it. They're going to have to do it back-to-backs.
They got to win 4 in a row.
And the Dodgers...
It's not going to happen. You can't beat the Dodgers 4 in a row.
They're running the bullpen game. So maybe you get a win tonight.
Maybe.
But the Yankees blew it not winning with Garrett Cole.
Sure.
I know Yankees fans, and I agreed with this, and I was reading like their posts and stuff. Game 1 was a necessary must-win with Garrett Cole on the mound because you look at what the Dodgers have, you get away with that, getting a win off that lineup. Then Carlos Rodon's your number 2. That's another game you probably are like, we need to win this against Yamamoto, who I was looking at I follow an account on Twitter that covers Japanese league stuff. Mm-hmm. Yamamoto is not really good in the playoffs ever in his career, and he had that really bad outing in Game 1 against the Padres, but then woke up. And Yamamoto looked very good against the Yankees. So, like, he's clearly woken up. Then you see the news the other night about Ohtani busting his shoulder, and you're like, oh, no, I hate this. And then it's like, oh, he's magically healed. I'm like, oh, my gosh, I love this because you see the videos of Yankees fans flipping him off while he's injured. I'm like, please lose the World Series now. You guys deserve to lose this.
Yeah.
But other than that, like, this World Series, I was really hyped for, and it literally is just the New York Yankees playing like a bunch of bums. They look completely outmatched, and I completely understand where people are coming from, where it's like the Yankees had such a easy path to the World Series. You think about it. They had the bye, then they had the Kansas City Royals, and then they had the Cleveland Guardians. The final 4 teams in I almost said the NFC or the AFC. The final 4 teams in the American League, Danny, were the Yankees and 3 of the teams in the AL Central.
Mm-hmm.
No offense to the AL Central, but that's a division that doesn't spend the money. And everyone complains about the money being spent, but I'm like, why don't you just spend it in return? Like, I'm a fan. We're fans of small market teams, but it's like, you have to understand you got to spend money to win. Like, even then, like last year, we saw the Rangers and Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks went all the way, and both those teams fell off a cliff this year. The Yankees and Dodgers, they haven't made it since 1981 against each other, that is. They both won it in our lifetimes, but it's like, these two haven't matched up since 81. We weren't born. And it's like, this was a World Series I was excited for, but it clearly has been a complete Yankees did not show up. They do not look ready, and they need to go on a miracle. They need to have an absolute miracle go right for them. We've seen 3-1 comebacks in sports, not a lot of 3-0s. We almost saw one last in the NHL and the Stanley Cup. This past one when the Panthers went up 3-0 and the Oilers forced Game 7. That was pretty interesting. But I don't know if the Yankees can do that the way they're playing. Like, the Dodgers have the bullpen game tonight. Maybe you get this one. You got to win Game 5 to make it work. I think the Yankees are a team that could easily get on a hot streak and win maybe 2 in a row, maybe 3 in a row, but I don't think 4 in a row. The way that offense is going. I think they even changed their lineup tonight finally. Let me see if I can find it really quick. So the whole thing was Aaron Judge
Lineup is Torres batting first, Soto second, Judge third, Chisholm fourth, Stanton fifth, Rizzo sixth, Volpe seventh, Austin Wells eighth, and Verdugo ninth.
So that's the problem.
Yeah.
Like he's moving. You move Jazz Chisholm down a little bit. And like, okay, no. He moved Giancarlo Stanton down in the lineup to give Jazz Chisholm more lineups, more at bats. And then you're still rocking with Judge at 3, even though Judge is. I mean, you got to believe in Aaron Judge, but this is a must win. Aaron Judge, you know how you wake his bat up? Bat him like 5th or 6th.
Yeah.
Like put him in the meat of the order, not where he's hitting the first inning. Like you got to have him in the like the Pirates did that. Clint Hurdle did all the time with Andrew McCutchen. McCutchen would fall asleep at the plate sometimes, and he'd start batting him like 7th. And then what happens? He's back to the 1 spot, back to the 3 spot.
Yep.
That's how you get a player back on a hot streak. And this, like, they're playing the Dodgers tonight. I'm looking at the Dodgers lineup. It's Ohtani, Betts, Freeman, Hernandez, Muncy, Hernandez, Luck, Smith, Edman. And then some guy named Kasparius in their bullpen.
Yep.
But it's like, that is a lineup. That is the lineup that wins you games. That's what you got to do. Then I don't know if you saw the news, and this will be my parting words of this. Juan Soto, the whole thing, he's a free agent. It's either going to be probably the Yankees or Mets, I'm thinking. But then I see I get an alert the Dodgers are going to check in on getting Juan Soto.
Oh, Christ.
Could you imagine? I want you to look at if they still have to re-sign Teoscar Hernandez, but they already have Ohtani, Betts, and Freeman locked up. So per se, Hernandez leaves. You just replace him with Juan Soto. That's even better.
That'd be absurd.
And you bring him back. Like, this is where the Ohtani deferred contract's going to help them a lot.
Yeah.
Shohei did it for a reason. He wanted them to bring in star power, and guess what they're doing? Bringing in star power.
Yep.
So I guess my parting words will be, I don't think the Yankees will do it, but I think they're capable of forcing a Game 6 going back to LA. Because I was thinking about this last night. I think it would be very awful because they play the Start Spreading the News song. They were playing it last night as the Go Out song after they lost. If you lose the World Series at home in the Bronx,
you cannot play that.
You have to hear Frank Sinatra music, like the New York, New York. That is going to be awful.
Those Yankees
fans are never going to shut up. They're going to be mad. So, like, I think they force 6 just to stay away from it, but I don't think they win it in LA at all. Who knows, though? Maybe on Tuesday when we're back, a miracle has happened, but hopefully I don't see it.
All right. Good episode today. Covered first time we've covered all 3 major sports. Didn't cover hockey, but
hockey.
Yeah, there was sports equinox yesterday, and
sorry,
I don't really care about it. But good episode today. Been through 17 episodes, going strong. So thank you everyone for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time.
Yep. See y'all later.